Hi, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Marcus here again. I'm kind of in a bad situation right now. The move is to make this presentation for you right now at this moment in time, but I happen to be out here inside of a car where it is snowing and my lighting is very poor. So I asked myself, which is more important, the lighting or the message? So I don't think there's anything wrong with the audio. So I'm going to present this message to you anyway. What I want to say to you today, ladies and gentlemen, are some things that many of you already know, very few of you have heard, and even fewer will believe. And what is that I'm going to share with you? A measure of the truth about certain subjects. I want you to know that every human being that comes on the earth is the master of themselves. No one can force you to do anything. You are the master, as long as you know that you are the master. When you give up your mastership, then you can be forced to do anything. When you are coming into the world as children, your parents, who perhaps have already gained the intelligence and the knowledge, who are already expressing the evidence of what I've just said, will become obvious to you, the children, and you will understand. But if that is not happening, then you won't know anything about that at all. And you will be a slave to ignorance and a lack of knowledge most of your lives. So what I want you to know is this. What do I mean when I say you are the master of your life? I mean that you, after growing up, growing up means you've learned. And I'm talking about 18 years old or something like that. You still don't have any real knowledge outside of what you've been exposed to. But when you know the truth, I guess this is what I'm trying to say, is that you know that at any moment, before you violate the truth, before you do anything that you do not want to do, you can kill yourself. You can die. And you got the permission to die. You got that decision in your hands, whether you want to bend, whether you want to bow, or whether you want to stand and be a man. It might mean laying you in the ground, but they'll lay you in the ground as a man and not like a slave. Now, they say there's some rewards for that. What I really want you to know is that all of you young people that's growing up, over in, I was hearing about Russia sending some guys into a war zone, people that they never had any respect for anyway. This is why they had to commit crimes and stuff and violate the law that ended them up in prisons. And now they, who have been denied true life and stuck in prison, the boss, the God over there, want to take them out of prison and put a gun in their hand, give them a week or so of training, and then send them out to kill other people or die. And take 2 grenades with them, I think, for some reasons, probably to commit suicide if they ever get captured. But this is what they're being forced to do. This is what mankind, God, forces people to do. America, you're not being forced to do it just yet. I think back in the Vietnam War, you were doing the draft, you had to go, and if you were on the field and you wanted to say, I'm not going to do it anymore, then they could kill you. So these things represent force. They represent the ideas of man. So what I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, when you start saying they made me do it, do you know that the people that are running from South America, Central America, who are going through some changes, people who are running from other parts of the world, do you know that if they knew the truth, they wouldn't be jumping in no rivers, jumping in the lakes, jumping in the seas, trying to escape to where? Putting their lives on the line. No, they wouldn't do it. They would just end their lives right there in that moment, because this is the chance to prove to yourself and to everybody else, you are the boss. There's nothing on this earth worth you being a slave to. No breakfast, no lunch, no dinner is worth you being a slave to. No sex is worth you being a slave to. No house, no car, no anything is worth you being a slave to. And if you are free from all of that stuff, then you can have all of that stuff. But you got to be free from it. See, when you're free from it, then you do things the right way. You see, this is the time when people will understand what they mean when they talk about the New World Order. We in America are experiencing these times some of the biggest evil that you can ever imagine. It's not new, and it's not even bigger than any other evil. It's just that it's just so in our face. It's been a part of the American way ever since America has been here. But with Donald Trump, like very few Americans, he just don't mind representing the devil. I mean, they say he's been training. He followed Mein Kampf. He's all of the dictators. He praised all those guys. So you know that's what he wants to do. And the people who are following him wants him to do that because they in their lives have been convinced that that way is the only way that will work for them. They don't know that they're being used. They do not know that when prices go up, it's to benefit the rich. It's not to benefit the poor. If prices go up so the poor can't get it. If they cared about the poor, when things get tight, the prices will go down. But no, it is about those who have played the game to the benefit and the detriment of others. And my message to you today, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a new world order. It's not about trying to just do something different. No, we're finding out right now these people, it's nothing new, but it's obvious, are trying to destroy not only the country, they're trying to kill all of us that they feel aren't important. And who are they? People of color and others. Look, ladies and gentlemen, they do not know the truth. Let me say it one more time. People do not know God. Going to church does not make you know God. People in the pulpit, preachers, I'm just going to tell you, do not know God. They can read scripture, and they can say anything they want to say about interpretation, but they do not know God. It's all a game that's being played, and the evidence is all out here. The evidence is all out here. When we look at the things that God has done, they are operational just like they're supposed to be. When we look at the things that man have done, they're all screwed up. So it's time for a new world order. So when Trump, and every time I wake up and listen to anything on TV, I hear all day, all night, people still talking about Trump. What Trump is, all his evil. They just keep talking. They say, well, we just got to keep it, let people know, be aware. Be aware of what? You're spreading that stuff down to people who already have accepted it, and they are believing it, and they are not changing anything just because you're saying it. And the people who have been out here still haven't been blessed, but have been hoping that the things that Biden and the Democrats are trying to do to save you, yet the Congress is stacked with people who work for Satan, work for evil, who will give a stink about you. So if you do anything, it's going to be so small. So what small is going to keep you out of hell? You got to go all the way, but you can't go all the way if you don't know all the way. Let me tell you all the way. All the way for humankind on this earth is this, is that you're living on this earth as though you are in heaven. And in order for you to do that, you got to honor God, a power that you cannot see, but allow that power that you know created this earth, that you know created you, that you know loves you, and then demand that you treat others just like you want to be treated. You are going to represent that power. And what does that basically mean? That means that every last one of us on this earth came here with something, and we're going to do something. And in doing that, we got to survive. And in order to survive, we got to participate in creating a production of those things that are essential for that. And we must do it in such an abundance that everybody have access to what they need, they want, and they desire. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen, using free gifts, resources of the earth. Nobody gave to us from God. Nobody know when they're going to come or when they're going to leave, but God. And if they leave, God replaces, but God. And living that way, respecting each other that way, as God says, then we will live in peace and be prosperous and free. We will live joyously, happily. And our dreams, we will be living our dreams instead of talking about our dreams. And you don't have to lie. All of that comes from man's way. Man says, let's live capitalistically. Let's live, my friends, with socialism and communism and dictators and anything, putting them in charge and putting you at the bottom. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, every man that has $1 million and $1 billion, you know what they say? You know what they say? They say that you don't matter, but they don't tell you that. They buy your politicians to do their biddings. and their biddings work against us. That's why you can't pay your mortgages. That's why you don't make enough money to have gas in your car. That's why you can't send your kids to college. That's why you can't send your kids to trade school and dress them like you want to be dressed. That's why you can't take vacations like other people. That's why you're suffering and can't go to the hospital and get medical care like you need to, because the devil is running the world and you don't know it. And because you don't know it, you act just like those people that you say Trumpers. You say they are blind. You say that they are following Trump and what he's all about blindly. You say that if they keep on doing it, it becomes normalized. And that's so true. The evidence is in what we do. We have followed a way of life ever since we've been on this earth. We have followed it even though we know second-class citizen was right there in our face. It was normal and we accepted it even though we knew it was wrong. And we still do this day, saying that we are somebody, that men, black people are people too. And yet you still got to certify that you can vote. And you think that somebody in America knows God? No, my friends, the people that know God are dead, murdered, because they wouldn't take it. And every last one of us, I don't care how we're ripping our mouths, when somebody's hurting and in pain, the rest of us are responsible that know about it. It is our duty, it is our responsibility and obligation not to just point it out, but God damn it, to do something about it. Instead of doing that, we up here trying to make that evil voice that's been ringing in America for several years president again. And you think you know God? My friends, I don't see no evidence. And I tell you what, you might look at me and say, where's your evidence? Well, maybe I act like I don't know God as well, but I guarantee you things are about to change. Oh, well, I want to just take a moment to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that it is only ignorance and stupidity that would allow America to keep on rolling like it's been rolling. And none of us want to claim to be ignorant. None of us want to claim to be stupid. But I don't care what we claim. All you got to do is look around us, and it speaks volumes. Until next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye for now.